patience, and tenderness. I see them supported in all they are called upon to do, and comforted during times of struggle. I pray also for children, young and old, as they remember their fathers. May cherished memories bring smiles and warmth, and may the love remain forever alive in hearts and minds. And for all those on healing or forgiveness journey, I pray that divine love leads and comforts them on a path towards lasting peace. May the peace and love of God fill their hearts today and every day. And from Numbers 6:24, the Lord bless you and keep you. Certainly, as I read this morning, I thought of my own dad. But this life, I pray that they are called always to follow their guidance and to act to express divine love. Isn't that a wonderful reminder to each one of us, whether we are fathers in our own right or playing that role of fatherhood and father figures for someone else in our lives, because we certainly need a young and that person that we can turn to that will display those the power of strength and patience and tenderness. I can't say that I was a tender man, which made me want to be more tender with my children. I also can't answer the question that this asked us. Who comforted him when he had a struggle? I have no idea where my father turned to find God in his life, except for nature. He taught me to be in nature, to find that connection to something more powerful, larger than me. I'm going to have this conversation with that about God itself. But in nature, he found that peace that this talks about. And so for this morning, wherever you find that peace, that place that you call God in your life, whether it be in the church, in nature, in your own hearts, may you too be called to always follow your guidance and express divine love. And Father's Day. Now we dismiss our young people who are in the back and go downstairs to be with the teachers or teacher. Wow, there's a bunch today with a great hat. Love the hat. Have a good time. We just had a few announcements this morning. And you can find the announcements on the constant contact link that you sent as well. The next light work meeting is going to be scheduled. It's supposed to be on the 6:23, and we moved to be to 6:30 at 6:30 at night. A new weekly group will start on Tuesday, 6/21 at 4 o'clock. It's called Move to the Music. It's a physical fitness program led by Sheila O'Connor. Just get moving and have some fun. There's no charge, but there are love offerings if you'd like to offer that. And that is downstairs. The Valentine's picnic is going to occur again this year. It's held on October 28th from 1 to 3. That is the Rise Center across the street. They have a neighborhood get together, and all are welcome. And there's a flyer, and then there'll be some information as well for you to RSVP if you'd like to attend. And we'll keep you updated as that gets closer. This Monday, June 20th, is the prayer circle. It is the first and third Monday, so please pay attention to that. It does look like they will be on the 4th of July as well. And again, that link to Ann Wall's group is on constant contact. And finally, watch for an article by our own Maria Gonzalez, who on Saturday earned her 3rd level black belt at the age of 4. Amazing. I still don't get that. And that was a greeting of our guests, but I don't see anyone in the audience that would be totally new to us. So welcome. And those of you that might be with us for the very first time at home, please know that you are welcome, whether you are here or at home, please put a little something in the comment box there. It'll let us know how we might reach you, or call the office and let us know how we can connect with you so you can learn more about us and we can learn about you. So now is the time when we greet our neighbors, so if you all stand, please. And offer that greeting, whether it be a wave or a namaste. Know that you are loved and accepted here. Good to see you all. And if you remain standing, we will go into our statement.
God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect law, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance.
Thank you. You may be seated. Now we have 5 principles. Every week we kind of review these. These are the principles we try to live by. They are guideposts. They are tested by experience, and they remain with us as divine presence unfolds through our lives. So 1, God is the source and creator of all. God is good and present everywhere. 2, we are spiritual beings created in God's image. 3, we create our life experiences through our ways of thinking. 4, there is power in affirmative prayer. And 5, we live these spiritual principles. The one or two of you see these demonstrated in your life this week, would you care to share? Joshua will bring your microphone. You just raise your hand.
Yeah, well, this wasn't this week. It's just that it's Father's Day, so I thought of my father, and I remember just one sentence, things he told me throughout life, and I remember things he's done throughout life when I was a child and with him. So I think that's one, God is the source and creator of all. God is good and present everywhere. So we're how God gets around. I remember these things, even though they're small. So I need to remember every day that I can do something, just glance at somebody, say hi, and just pass on God's word and love and kindness. Okay.
I'm not quite sure where this would lie, but I will tell you that I find it certainly the power of prayer and the power of being connected to a community such as this. I have a neighbor who made his transition on Monday following a few years of Parkinson's disease. So I was sort of thinking of him and his sons this morning. And then later in the week, I discovered that a friend who at one point was my student was very ill. In both instances, my first thought was to contact him for a checkup. And that is not a natural thing for me, but it is a lesson I've learned here that I can take whatever that is, whether it be something stressful or painful or joyful, and pick up the phone and share it with my prayer chaplains, and they will share in that in my working this lesson. So I don't have to worry as much. I can continue to worry later, but I can follow their example and take it into prayer. So part of that, I guess, is learning to live what I learned here and actually practicing it. That's the deal. I might know it in my heart, I might know it in my head, but until I take the action to actually do something with it, it's just the Lord and not much use to me. So thank you to the prayer chaplains for doing that for me. And, that was the blessing of the prayer. I think, Nancy, are you on prayer chaplain today? Thank you. Unity was and is founded on prayer, and so we bring forward the prayer box. If you have not yet placed your written prayer intentions in the prayer box, you can do so at the end of the service. You can just simply hold them at your heart at this time. Written prayer intentions are held in confidence here for 30 days, so we don't forget them. Then we mail them forward to the Silent Unity, and they are held for an additional 30 days. Then Unity Village, the Silent Unity Service, has been holding prayer vigil for over 130 years. You can reach them day or night by calling 1-800-NOW-PRAY, and a prayer chaplain will pray with you at any time. At this time, we will bless all prayers and intentions and requests. Just hold them in your hearts.
We entrust our prayers in this box and in our hearts to the divine universal spirit. Our faith assures us the divine order is at work right now, in every moment, and we can simply say, Amen. Whatever I do, whatever I dream, whatever I decide to be, the answer is you. Whatever I see, whatever the questions be, so why would I fight? And why would I cry? And why would I worry still? I just open my arms and open my eyes and follow you, my God, until you are nearer to my heart, nearer to my soul, nearer to my life. Never let me go, oh, nearer to my heart. Show me what to do, oh God, to be nearer to you. Oh God, to be nearer to you. Let this be your prayer today. Whatever I do, whatever I dream, whatever I decide to be, the answer is you. Whatever I see, whatever the questions be, so why would I fight? And why would I cry? And why would I worry still? I just open my arms and open my eyes and follow you, my God, until you are nearer to my heart, nearer to my soul, nearer to my life. Never let me go, oh, nearer to my heart. Show me what to do, oh God, to be nearer to you. Oh God, to be nearer to you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Just such a pleasure to be here today and take this time to honor our fathers and just be present with that. And when I knew I was speaking on this Father's Day, and I had done it several times in the past, and my first thought for a title was, Honor, Father, I honor you. I've used that title in the past, and I could get away with it again. Because the topics look very different, who knows, the timing of it. But then this sense came of this fire, this burning, of how it is that our Father's guidance and their intensity to just guide their children. But this also is our spiritual Father. That is that fire in our soul that really guides us. So it is about both of our fathers in that sense. And although I think more of my talk is going to kind of be on the fire aspect, I do want to also, by be honoring our fathers. And at the end, I will share a poem that I wrote some years ago. I believe I was at one of the Leland rallies down in Maryland, and we were challenged to do something, and writing is not always my best, but I came up with a poem on what is a father. So let's ask that question. What is a father? And some of this has already been answered with what Ray did with the daily word, but kind of according to Webster, if you pull out the pieces, it's one who guides, protects, and then in another section, it's one who originates or institutes. Kind of some interesting ideas. But then when we look at the daily word today, it is one who loves, and importantly, one who forgives, has strength, patience, and tenderness. So all of these qualities of the Father are there. And this, understand that yes, there's some women in the crowd here, but you are fathers in your own ways as well. So let's turn a little bit to fire. So I often use my father's Bible. This was what he got when he was in ministerial school. And I learned a new piece about it. Even though I've had this Bible for years, it has a front section that is actually a dictionary, which I didn't realize. And so even though I would use our metaphysical Bible dictionary for a lot of things, I didn't realize this had its own. And so, this is from about 1950. Under fire, it states, and I can't read the print too fine here, so I have to type it out ahead. But it says that fire among the Hebrews symbolizes the Lord's presence. So whenever there is a fire, it is the Lord's presence. I know obviously the story of Moses and the burning bush, you can easily put some of that together in that sense. So a little over a week ago, I was with friends for the evening, and we had a fire pit outside. And it was later on, I began talking with my friend about, really, here is this fire. And then I had this talk coming up, and just what was that sense of inspiration that was there, the sense of just being present. I do like fires, I live in. As a Boy Scout, had my own fire tins, and have been known in years to manage a fire for most of the night for somebody, to take care of their own garbage wood that they need to be taken care of. I enjoyed it. And it's understanding that with that presence, the Lord is there. And take it. So, yes, the Lord is so present in so many ways with us. Well, from the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary now, fire says it is usually a symbol of the destruction of evil and error. It is a cleansing and purification. So it's used in this way to clean. And whatever the errors that we have out there, they can be cleaned. Hebrews 12:29 simply says, our God is a consuming fire. So what does this kind of mean? A consuming fire. This can take over, can cleanse something that isn't really connected. The fire will clear. Goes on to say, in the Physical Bible Dictionary, that fire also represents the positive, affirmative state of mind. Interesting. This affirmative state of mind. So think about it. When you get excited about something and your soul is burning and so forth, over just anything, that excitement, there's that fire. That's that positive peace that's there in our mind. In the revealing word, it goes on to say that fire is more than a symbol. It says material fire as a symbol, and the fire of spirit is the reality. So material fire is your symbol that's there. But the fire of spirit, there's your reality. That's that light that's there. The whole universe is alive with a divine, living, spiritual energy that consumes all the dross of sense and materiality. Dross? What in the world is that word? Where did it come from? I look it up. So basically, dross means it's waste or foreign matter. So the fire will consume it, take care of it. Goes on. Because this is true, some have assumed that disobedient, sinful persons are to live forever in that everlasting torment. But if the fire is eternal, the dross is not. And when the error is consumed, the burning stops. So you don't need to live in hell and damnation forever. Just get rid of it, take care of your errors, move on. But isn't that always so true that we talk about our hell is our own life here on earth? What are we making with it? It's not some place after death. It is how we are moving through our life today. And if we choose to live in that error sense, yeah, it's pretty sneaky. But get your life together, working positive. Go and let the fire consume what is wrong. Step up and move forward. So the fire consumes only when it meets anything unlike itself. Interesting. Consume what is not like itself, not that spirit of excitement, of good. The other thing that I found interesting is that here in the revealing word, it also under fire is tongues of fire. And when I was doing some research, some of my research today, there's a verse from James chapter 3, verse 6. It says, the tongue is also a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. So we look at that, and what was this really verse saying to us? We know the power of our spoken word. And so if we choose to use words that are not encouraging, that are not positive, that is this tongue of fire that we're talking about. The revealing word puts it this way, a whole different twist. It is the illumination of thought in demonstrating a spirit's presence and power. So there you can see this. It is positive and negative. But it is this illumination of our thoughts, our spoken word. Be careful what you speak and think, actually. Then, that's our third principle. Absolutely in play here. It's our thoughts put into words. So, slight deviation from fire, now is the power of the month is imagination. And I don't believe anybody has touched on it this month. I'm going to very briefly go through some things with it. So, one of our great sources is Linda Martella's book, The Divine Audacity. She breaks each of the powers into 3 types and levels. So for imagination, they are conception, vision, and embodiment. And she feels that this is really the power that is a foundation of all, because we need to cultivate our magnificent spiritual capabilities. So conception, you must first have some idea. As we conceive of anything, it then life can begin. What are the first 3 words of the Bible? In the beginning. There has to be a concept in that beginning. So everything in front of us here starts with an idea. This microphone, somebody had an idea. This candle had an idea that made it. So that's where it starts. The next one is vision. So once there is that idea that it's born, then we have to begin to picture what it's going to look like. We have to envision it. And that gives it shape and form. And then there's time to refine what we've formed and given. So it's kind of what you say, the what if stage. And then finally, with imagination, is embodiment. So the idea has its life, its form, its manifest. And so with faith and trust, this idea comes to life. So coming back to part of today, Father's Day, it's a day of celebration, right? It's a day to have fun. And several years ago, there was an acronym that came for fun. Feeling unbelievably new. And I sort of said something about the talk title, and I haven't found it yet. But there is more to come on that. So in this day of celebration, let's just have fun. So a couple more Bible verses from Romans 12, verses 11 and 12. Never let the fire in your heart go out. Keep it alive. Serve the Lord. When you hope, be joyful. When you suffer, be patient. And when you pray, be faithful. So keep that fire burning, that excitement of whatever's going on in your heart, and you will just take lighter steps every day as you move forward. So in many ways, this has been more of an informational talk than one on ideas of how to change your life and use union principles with it. But again, this was to be a day of celebration. And so I'm going to ask you to think about this. In the end, what are you burning for? What is it that's driving you? What are you burning for? In a paraphrase from last week's lesson by Natasha, love keeps faith burning. So go forth with love and that fire, that burning sense with faith and all is there. So I said I had a poem for you. It is this. Father, here's to you, one of strength, one who touched so many, one who holds my heart. Here's to you, one who blessed, one who laughed, one who spoke truth. Here's to you, my Father. And I'd like to then go into meditation at this time. And as we get ready to do this, I'm going to read to you what I call my version of the Lord's Prayer. And I did this as a lesson here many years ago, but it came up this past week at the discussion group, and the ideas on it, so it reminded me to pull it up. So this is the unitized version of the Lord's Prayer. Our teacher, which art within, hallowed be thy spirit. Thy presence come, thy will be done, within and without us. Breathe this day our daily breath. Release our trials as we release our fears. And lead us into gratitude, delivering us to peace. For we are the kingdom, power, and glory together. So in this moment, quiet your mind, open your heart, and be ready to be guided for that burning within your soul. Listen to the guidance that comes. Be ready. Be ready, my soul. Keep the mind calm, the heart open, your soul listening to what comes and what is present. Feel the presence within. Its spirit is filling your entire soul, body, and mind. And as we go into this time of silence, the soul is ready. Our teacher, which art within, hallowed be thy spirit. Thy presence come, thy will be done, within and without us. Breathe this day our daily breath. Release our trials as we release our fears. And lead us into gratitude, delivering us to peace. For we are the kingdom, power, and glory together. Amen. Thank you, everyone, for being present. Enjoy this day. Honor all of those father characters within you and around you.
Thank you. You got me thinking. This is the last time I wanted something enough that I imagined and then brought it into reality. tough question. We have a mission here at the University of Syracuse. The University of Syracuse inspires, awakens, and transforms lives through unlimited love, prayer, and service. Now is the time that we will collect our tithes and love offerings, so if you prepare those, you have to come forward with those. We invite you, Alan, to also donate if you'd like. There's a donate button there for you, or you can certainly mail something to us at Unity of Syracuse, 300 West Seneca Turnpike, Syracuse 13207. Now, if you take your tithe and love offerings in your hand, we will together say, God love, and
Blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. You are my source.
as these offerings come forward, we just raise your hand and we, at the same time that we bless what we have been given, we take a moment to navigate our hearts and just realize that by now she's probably almost there. She's on the way to go out among us. So for all the blessings she gave us, let us include her. We bless this abundant supply, giving to further the work of our ministry. We give you love, and our blessed in Spirit's constant outpouring of good. We live in an abundant world. Thank you, God. And blessing of our children. Probably having too much fun. We could sing. Well, I'm not gonna walk in that light and tell you. We are certainly blessed to have the youth affairs ministry that we have, the dedication that our teachers have, and you, as you're supported is really amazing. They always they touch lives in ways that is really important. So remember that. And soon, I think, is another like ice cream days. Right? Don't you think you have like 4 or 5? I heard it. Oh, that's it. Wow, here they come.
Hi, everybody. Happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there. We appreciate you. Today we talked about imagination, and we did some questions. Does anybody remember their question? Can you say? What would you do? That was, what would you do if you were invisible? Cool. So we did a whole bunch of questions, and we're working on a project up there. The questions were to stir our creativity and use our imagination.
We have friends that joined us today.
We have a lot of friends that joined us today.
Does anybody want to introduce a friend?
Right.
Well,
Pardon, you asked me? And thank you, everybody, for donating to the YFN stuff for the yard sale. And also thank you to Patty and her nephew for helping so much. Yeah. There. And for helping, for cooking. And that's it, sorry.
We bless our children wherever they are. We see them surrounded by love and light throughout the week. We have a thriving youth and family ministry. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. There be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be a moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with